Hey guys, my name is Yvette and welcome to my DIY channel, and I hope that you guys are having a great day. For today's video, I wanted to share with you how I made some cute little magnets out of air dry clay. And so yeah, let's just get started. For this project, I'm going to make some breakfast magnets and I'm going to be using Dad's air dry clay. For the first figure, I'm going to make a sunny side up egg, so roll out some clay. I'm going to trace out a random blob shape for this since sunny side up eggs come in so many different shapes and sizes. And I wasn't quite sure how big I wanted to make my figures, so I started out a little bit bigger and then I decided to go smaller. Make sure to use some water to blend everything out. I grabbed a tiny piece of clay and I'm rolling it into a little ball for the egg yolk, and then right here I'm flattening it out and I'm going to attach it by scoring the clay, and then I'm also going to be using some slip, and that slip is also Dad's air dry clay, but it's just the white version. I'm cleaning off some of that slip using a wet paintbrush, and I like how this looks, so I'm going to set this aside to dry. Next, I'm going to make some pancakes, so take a chunk of clay and split it evenly into 3 parts as best you can, and I'm going to roll each chunk into a ball. Then I'm going to flatten them out, and you can flatten these out as much as you want. It just depends on how big you want your pancakes to be. I'm going to smooth them out with some water. To attach these together, I'm going to score the clay using my needle tool. I'm adding some water to them to make them a little bit tackier, and then I'm also going to add some slip onto them. Your pancakes should look something like this, and I did want to add a small piece of butter on top, so I'm taking the tiniest bit of clay and shaping it into a small square, and I'm going to attach it using some slip. I'm cleaning off a little bit of that extra slip with a clean paintbrush, and then I'm going to set this aside to dry. For my next breakfast figure, I'm going to make a donut, so take a small chunk of clay and roll it into a ball. I'm going to flatten it out to the size that I want my donut to be. Using my needle tool, I'm going to carve out the little donut hole in the middle. And then I'm going to keep shaping my donut until I get the look that I'm going for. Make sure to smooth everything out with some water. This is how my donut is looking right now, and I love it. So now I'm going to add the frosting to it. I rolled out a really thin slab of clay and I'm going to place it on top of my donut. I'm using my needle tool to repoke that hole in the middle. And then using my scissors, I'm going to trim the clay until I get the amount of frosting I want around the side of my donut, if that makes sense. So like right here, I'm pressing the frosting fully up against the donut, and I'm trying to figure out how much of the donut on the bottom I want to show and where I want the frosting to be. Now I'm going to blend everything out with some water. And now our little donut is done, so I'm going to set this aside to dry. Up next, I'm going to make a croissant, so roll out some clay, trace out a tall triangle, and then also cut out a small triangle on the top center like I did. I'm adding some water to make the clay tacky because we're going to roll this up. Start from the bottom of the triangle and slowly start rolling the triangle up and out a little. And then you can bend in the ends of the croissant to get that classic croissant shape. And I did redo this off camera again because I wanted a bigger croissant, so I just made a bigger triangle. Now I'm going to blend this out with some water, and then I'm going to set this aside to dry. Moving on, I'm going to make a little orange, so grab a small chunk of clay and roll it into a circle. I'm going to squish it down a little bit against the table so the top of the orange will still have its round shape, but on the bottom it'll be flat. I'm taking a small piece of clay and I'm going to shape it into a little leaf, and then I'm going to add it onto my orange using some slip. And then I decided that I wanted to add in another leaf, and I'm just gonna let this dry. For my last little figure, I wanted to make a little coffee mug, so I rolled out some more clay. Then I sketched out a little coffee mug and I cut it out. I blended it out using some water. I'm taking a little bit of clay and flattening it out, and I'm going to place this towards the top of my mug to make it look like it's coffee, and using my needle tool I'm going to shape it out a little bit better. I'm taking a small coil of clay, I'm placing it around the bottom of the coffee to make it look like the coffee is contained inside of the mug, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to blend this all out using my modeling tool. This one's pretty much done, so I'm going to set this aside and let it dry with the rest of my little breakfast shapes.
346 minutes later.
These are all of my little breakfast figures dry, so I'm going to sand them and then I'm going to paint them. I'm going to seal all of these using Deco Art's triple thick gloss glaze. I I waited for the glaze to dry on these little pancakes, and I wanted to add in the look of maple syrup on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some more gloss glaze, and I'm adding in a drop of brown paint, and I'm going to mix it in really well. And then I'm going to drizzle the gloss glaze on top of my little pancakes, and then I'm using a paintbrush to move my syrup where I want it to go. I'm going to use this roll of magnetic tape to turn my little figures into magnets. When you peel the paper off of the magnet, it is sticky, but I wanted to make sure that this really sticks onto the clay. So I'm going to add in a little bit of E6000 just to make sure everything holds. This is how my little pancakes came out with the syrup on top fully dry, and it looks super cute. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you subscribe for more DIYs and stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!